For 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has been this absolute icon. It's one of the last true wonders of the ancient world, but it's also one of our biggest mysteries. How on earth did they build something so massive without any of the technology we rely on today? And when I say massive, I mean it. To really wrap your head around this, you have to start with the weight. The Great Pyramid is estimated to weigh 6 million tons. That's a number so big, it's kind of hard to even picture.
Okay, so let's try to put that into perspective. Think about the Burj Khalifa, right? The tallest building in the entire world today. It weighs about 500,000 tons. We built that thing with every crane, every computer, every piece of advanced machinery you can imagine. And yet, the pyramid is 12 times heavier, built with no cranes, no bulldozers, not even wheels for hauling stuff. It's just mind-blowing.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? How did they pull off an engineering miracle that has survived thousands of years of sun, sand, and storms? Well, the answer is way more interesting than you probably think. First things first, we have to talk about the story we all know. The one we've all seen in the movies 100 times. It's this powerful image that's kind of been burned into our collective imagination.
Yeah, this is the classic Hollywood version, right? You can picture it. Thousands of slaves suffering under the hot sun, whips cracking, living and dying just to build a tomb for some king. It's a super dramatic story. But is it actually true?
Well, this idea has been around for a long, long time. The Greek historian Herodotus was the first one to write it down way back in the 5th century BC. And then, fast forward a couple thousand years, Hollywood got a hold of that idea and just ran with it, basically cementing it as a fact for millions of people. But here's the thing. All the actual physical evidence that archaeologists have dug up in Egypt, it tells a completely different and, honestly, a much cooler story. See, archaeologists have found the remains of an entire city right near the pyramids. And what they discovered there, well, it changes everything we thought we knew about the people who built these monuments. So who were they really? Get this, they were highly skilled, respected workers, not slaves. The evidence shows they ate really well. We're talking tons of meat, bread, and beer. In fact, their skeletons show they were often stronger and better fed than the average Egyptian. They lived in organized towns, part of a massive national project. Even farmers would come and lend a hand during the flood season when they couldn't work their fields. This wasn't built on cruelty, it was built by a motivated workforce with a deep sense of loyalty and national pride. And we are talking about a huge, organized operation. The best guess is that around 20,000 people were working on this thing for over 2 decades. You don't manage a project like that with just brute force. It takes incredible social organization. Okay, so we've established it was a skilled workforce, not slaves. But how did they actually do it? How did they cut, move, and lift millions of tons of stone? Well, their solutions were nothing short of genius. They didn't have steel, so they had to be clever. They used copper tools for the softer limestone, but for the super hard granite, they used an even harder rock, called dolerite, to literally pound it into shape. But their most brilliant trick? They'd carve little cracks in the rock, jam wooden wedges in, and then soak them with water. As the wood swelled up, the force was so immense it would just crack these massive stones right off. So simple, but so effective. So getting the stones out was one problem, but moving them across miles of desert, that was a whole other challenge. And the answer, believe it or not, seems to be hidden in this ancient painting. For centuries, people just assumed the guy pouring water was part of some ceremony, but then some physicists got curious and decided to actually test it. And what they found was amazing. If you pour just the right amount of water on the sand, not too much, not too little, it makes the sand firm and cuts the friction in half. All of a sudden, pulling a giant multi-ton block on a sledge becomes way, way easier. It's such an elegant solution to a huge problem. But what about lifting the stones, stacking them higher and higher? Today, we just use a crane with pulleys, but back then, the wheel wasn't really used for that kind of machinery yet. The most likely answer, which is backed up by the discovery of an actual 4,500-year-old ramp system, is that they built these enormous ramps and just hauled the stones up. So when you put all of this new evidence together, it really forces you to look at the pyramids in a whole new light. It's time to kind of reframe what they actually represent. Here's the most important takeaway. Yes, they were a tomb for a pharaoh, but they were so much more than that. They were really the centerpiece of an entire society's efforts.
So instead of being this grim symbol of oppression, the Great Pyramid is actually a monument to national unity. It's a showcase of incredible problem solving and human ingenuity. It's the result of a motivated, respected, and well cared for workforce. It's an achievement of a society that could organize itself to do something truly spectacular.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If a society 4,500 years ago could organize and innovate on this kind of epic scale, all united by a common goal, what does that tell us about what we're capable of when we truly work together?